Imagine you are sitting in your local beer shop, laughing with your friends, enjoying a freshly poured pet, then suddenly a thunderous explosion shakes the building. You turn around and instead of seeing smoke or fire, you see a massive wall of beer racing straight toward you. Within seconds, streets are underwater, building collapse, people are swept away. It sounds completely unbelievable. But on October 17, 1814, this actually happened in the heart of London. This is the true story of the London beer flood, one of the strangest disasters in history. But before we enter into the story, if you don't subscribe to my channel, just subscribe. Okay, then let's get started. On the 17th of October 1814, one of the London's largest breweries was storing beer inside enormous wooden vats. When I say enormous, I mean over 20 feet tall and holding hundreds of thousands of liters of beer, which is either impressive planning or an absolutely terrible idea. Early that day, workers noticed one of the giant iron hoops wrapped around one of the vats had snapped, which seemed like the sort of thing you probably want to mention to somebody.
Vats are bursting. We need to act now.
The problem was these hoops failed from time to time, so nobody panicked. Unfortunately, this time was different. At around 5:30, the giant vent suddenly burst apart. The pressure was so immense that it triggered a chain reaction. One exploding vent smashed into another, which then smashed into another, and within seconds, hundreds of thousands of gallons of beer came crossing through the brewery. At this point, London had accidentally invaded the world's worst pub crawl. A huge wave of beer burst through the brewery walls and charged into the surrounding streets. Now, a beer tsunami sounds brilliant if you are British. Unfortunately, it turns out beer is a lot less fun when it's coming through your living room wall. Houses were damaged, buildings collapsed, people ran for their lives, your entire rooms were suddenly flooded with beer. One moment it was an ordinary evening in London, the next all hell had broken loose. The force of the flood torn through the surrounding streets with almost no warning. Residents barely had time to react, which tends to happen when half a brewery suddenly decided to visit your house. It took hours for the flood waters to settle and weeks to fully clear up the aftermath. Today, the London beer flood sounds almost too ridiculous to be true. A city flooded by beer, a brewery accidentally creating one of the strangest disasters in British history. Turns out there is a limit to how much beer a city actually wants, and London found it. So, if you like this video, just subscribe, like, share. Bye everyone!